All right. How is everyone doing today, tonight?
Oh, we're wonderful, Miss Wendy. We're wonderful. Thank you, teacher.
He already said my name. I'm Wendy Fortino. I'm here on WOLFpak Live. And Lee has his Batman WOLFpak. Yes, it's amazing.
I just saw today they got the Joker ones.
Yes, yes. We have a collaboration with DC Comics, and we're rolling them out like one by one. But you have Batman. Batman's better.
Like Super X Apparel, who does the S-Force watches, they got the contracts with Marvel and DC, and they're doing all those nice tracksuits they've been sending me. Now the Joker's better because the Joker's more like me, sarcastic and rude and stuff. It's like, yeah, Batman's a vigilante, but you know, the Heath Ledger Joker, you can't beat that, can you?
Well, maybe we'll have to get you a Joker one too. I mean, that's
I was
more
done
you.
up as the Joker. Did you ever see me done up as the Joker on RX Muscle?
I've seen you do the Joker in an app. I think it was like a filter.
No, you got to.
You actually dressed up as a Joker though.
Yeah, like if you can find it on RX, I do Batman and the Joker.
Right.
For the whole show, I'm dressed as Batman. But then on yeah, I have quite a funny stuff to say on RX as Lee Priest Batman, then Lee Priest the Joker.
Oh my gosh, this is literally, this is kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie, this is really creepy.
Me as the Joker, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
I stayed in character for the whole show.
Oh, that's a little creepy. I don't know about all that. I don't know.
You got to watch it. You never know what I'm going to say as the Joker, but the Batman one was pretty funny too. I was making fun of everything and just going crazy with the silly Joker laugh. And but the week before I was Batman. So
you know what's interesting is something that I found, and I know we're kind of like starting off topic a little bit here, but I have to tell you something that I found.
When does anything start on topic with me now? Come on.
Never. I know. I plan on that really. I prepare a lot, but then that kind of goes out the window.
Throw it out the window.
It goes out the window.
First mistake, taking notes for a show with me. Fuck.
No, I do, and it doesn't matter sometimes. But I will say, this isn't something that I had prepared, but it's something that I found, and it kind of goes along the lines of your fascination with the Joker, and I think maybe this is why you were cast in this. But I want you to tell me about this because I found this movie.
Oh yeah.
And let's like watch just a little bit of it here.
I got best supporting actor in that movie.
Yes, Mr. Williams, what can I do for you?
This is awesome.
You got us lost. You got us lost.
Going way out, mate.
We don't have to watch the whole thing, but
yeah, it's like that was for Trop Fest. It's a big film festival in Australia. It's like the movies can't be over 8 minutes long.
So you get out of the car and you basically...
It's a pretty good concept when you watch the whole thing, how it sort of loops around and you find out that we're watching us and we're like the ones who stole it. And it's a different concept.
Now.
So you get him in cuffs, all right? And then you go off. And then it turns out...
I come back and take his hat. Thinks I'm coming back to help him, but I take the hat.
God damn it.
And I walk off and I come back.
Yes, it's so crazy. But I was trying to figure out what the heck is that all about. And it turned out that you were in some kind of a weird warped world.
Yeah. And then when the car was stolen before,
Stop the car! Turn around!
And it loops back around.
You have to watch the whole thing to get the concept. It's like a time loop.
I know. It's a long clip, so I didn't want to show the whole thing, but I do want to show parts of it and the concept. This is, like I said, it's a little bit off topic, but I am very genuinely curious. How did you get this role? And tell me about it, because it's totally your personality, like 100%.
The lady that done that, Ren Feckman, she does movies in Australia and stuff, and I don't know how she got a hold of me, but I did a bit in another movie called The Scarecrow, the Salesman and the Scarecrow, or The Scarecrow and the Salesman. Had a little bit of part in that where this person died on stage, and that got murdered on stage, and everyone's like in shock and awe, and I stand up and start clapping like it's the greatest thing ever. Then everyone else stands up and starts clapping because this person got murdered on stage. But I did that with her, then did that one. And she's actually meant to do a full-length movie, got a big budget for it, or have a role in that one. It's like a cross between Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels and Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
Where me and this other guy play bad guys, but we're sort of bad, but you like us because the shit we do is just funny, and people end up accidentally dead just from the shit we do. But it got put on hold due to COVID, but I think it's still going ahead. That's going to be a big Australian movie, so that'll be a good one, where my name in it is Dingo.
Dingo. It's hard not to be typecast, though, and you have all those tattoos. I mean, I think it's a very, very specific look and a specific role.
You know, I could play the romantic love interest with these tattoos.
I mean, you could. It'd be a different kind of movie.
So I always have to be the villain rapist.
I mean, that's just, you know, but the thing is, you know, that is your kind of look, and that's.
Well,
and
there's another movie out called Dumb Criminals. When I did that TV show, if people have the 7+ app, like the number 7 and the word plus, it's an app. You might better get the Australian shows on there. There's one called Fat Pizza. I did 2 seasons of that, where I played a head of the white supremacist gang, and then one called Local Council, where I play a parking inspector in 9 episodes, just writing tickets and abusing people for parking in the wrong spot, or I push their car into the handicapped spot and I write them tickets and stuff. So that's a good one. But there's one called Dumb Criminals. It's on YouTube. I think there's like 6 episodes on YouTube. But then they actually made a almost 2-hour length movie called Dumb Criminals. And one of the bikies in that movie too. But on YouTube, if you look up Dumb Criminals, there's like little half-hour web episodes. That's what leads into the main movie.
Yeah. That'd be hard for me to do a role where I'd have to be like a bad guy, and like deep down inside you're just like the super sweet person, but you have to play.
The last one I did was called Outback Comedian, where I played, because Paulie, the comedian that does all these shows, he's an actual comedian, and he went on tour. And when he's on tour, you know, some people, the hecklers try to get a bit drunk, and he's meant to have security, but every time he needed his security was off with some groupies and stuff. So in the TV show Outback Comedian, it's like 8 episodes where we traveled around Australia, and that's my party. That every time he needs me, I'm off taking girls back to the hotel room or something like that. So let's say the wife didn't like that show too much, because she goes, "Look at you, looking like you're taking all these girls back to your hotel room." I said, "It's acting."
Yeah, I know. And you know, we're that actually brings up a point that I want to mention, now that you have experience in the movie industry and how roles go. But that is an interesting thing in our current generation. I think that this isn't something that really we heard about in movies back in the day. And lately I see all these stories come out where actors are actually accusing each other of sexual harassment.
You mean like Blake Lively?
Yes. I mean, I don't want to say specifically, but it's weird because these are movies and you're acting and you're signing up to do these roles. And it's so weird to me because I couldn't even imagine, I mean, 10, 15 or more years ago, actors doing their job and then someone getting the wrong idea or something. I just think that's so weird.
Well, it's like the whole thing with Harvey Weinstein. It's like, yes, okay, he was a dog if you believe the stories, but to me it's like, it's a business proposal. If I'm Harvey Weinstein and you're an actress and I say, listen, you want this role, you got to sleep with me, that's a choice you make. If you go, I want the role that bad, and you sleep with me, then it's like, it's a business decision. I didn't force you to. And then some of these women that come out and go, oh, Harvey did this to me and that, but I'm thinking, but after that you made another 3 movies with him. So what the fuck? It's like if he raped you the first time, it's like, no, you wanted the attention, you wanted the Academy Awards, you wanted the roles in the movie. Yes, what he's asking is wrong, but if you agree to it, then you can't say that you're all innocent.
There's 2 sides to that, and I'm not advocating for either one. I'm just saying I actually have strongly, felt the way that you are saying right now. But just as a devil's advocate, I will say that I think that the problem that people have is not the fact that they fall through with those deals that they made, but the fact that they felt like they had to because they couldn't succeed otherwise.
My
And I
mum
think
says no one can make you do anything, Wendy.
it's true. It's true. I mean, playing devil's advocate, it is true.
I know what it's like, because I'm sure those people in Hollywood are in that position where they're like, well, shit, if I don't do it, I'll never work in this town again. So they've got that pressure of, by saying no, they're never going to get another job or be labeled a troublemaker. Well, look at Hollywood. You just have the wrong argument with someone and they blackball you and you can never get in movies again. So it seems like a very fickle industry.
Yeah, I mean, bodybuilders, sometimes they feel like they would do anything it would take in order to win a show, right? Like that, like do anything it takes. And I think that, you know, and then in Hollywood, I think that was kind of the mentality. You think these young girls, they come out, they want to be famous and everything like that. And they're like, whatever it takes. And so I think that was, you know, I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Bodybuilding and like the movie industry, the old saying, Wendy, to get ahead, you got to give it.
Yeah, you got to give it.
famous quote by Lee Priest.
It took me a while. I had to say it out loud, but I shouldn't have. Okay, yeah, that's Okay, anyway. So let's talk about that's a perfect segue for us to talk about your Unholy tour. How about that?
It was unholy, yes.
Yes, it definitely was. And, you know, here's the thing, okay? Kind of goes along the lines of what we're talking about here, which is just you telling these just random stories about your life, about your experiences, and people just gathered from all over the place and migrated and just coagulated to watch you. And that's so fascinating to me. So I have a lot of questions about that. But
it's weird to me that, like I said, because even at these seminars, when I thank them for coming, I tell them it's weird because, as I've said, I don't put myself on a pedestal. I don't have an ego. So, you know, this is where I walked out at. Where's the sound on there? They're saying controversial or something. Look at
that. That's so cool.
And then I actually start off and I said, I want to thank Chris, the gym owner, for bringing me here. I think you might hear me say it on the mic. So stop the music. Because they say, I hope you come to see Ronnie and Jay. I'm pretty sure it's on here when I say thank you.
I want everyone to hold hands so if we get struck by lightning, we can all go together. But I just want to thank you, Giles and Chris, for bringing me out here. You know, they brought out better bodybuilders, Ronnie and all them. Hope you've come to see Ronnie and Andrew when they're here in Dorian, because you're going to learn fucking nothing from me. So I hope you come to see them.
All right. So Giles is somebody who set this up and you worked with him.
Yep.
So let's start there. How did this whole concept come to be? How did it come to fruition? And then what was
with Giles back in, I think it was 06 or something. I did a tour with Giles, and around then, because he put it up there that I did one with him back then. So yeah, this was like 19 years later, we do another one. So I can't wait to see the report on this one, because he wrote how the first one went. So I said, I can't wait to see the report on when he does a summary of this tour 19 years later. I pretty much had him ready for the fucking asylum by the time it was over.
You know, it is kind of crazy though. I mean, going back to what I had said earlier is, you know, I saw some of the footage, I saw some of the content, and it must be so overwhelming to know that people literally just want to hear you tell stories of things that you've done. And it's the way that you tell the story too.
That's what I find weird, because like I said, I just see myself as Lee. So when people come out, they're like, oh my God, you're Lee Priest. I still don't get it to this day, because I'm just Lee. I don't see myself, I go to the gym and I train and got a pro card. But to me, big deal. Like those people sitting in the front row there, they all go to the gym and train. So I'm no different to them. Okay, I got a pro card. Doesn't make me any better. I just happen to have good genetics to get a pro card. But like I said, they might be a good plumber, a good electrician. So I think where I'm on the stairs there, I sent you one where I'm actually talking and I'm saying, oh my God, listen to them introduce me. I hope they don't expect too much, because I said, this is embarrassing when they talk you up and it's just me. I think I'm saying it there. I'm saying, well, this makes me nervous when they talk like that. I think that's what I'm saying there.
You look nervous. I would be too.
Yeah, I was laughing, going, listen to them. They think someone special is coming out and it's just me. That's what I'm just saying.
Cool.
I don't want to go out.
Did you prepare for your presentations, or did you just go off the cuff?
No, I just go off the cuff. I just go out and start talking. And like I said, I talk about training and that, but then a lot of it too is just, like you said, my life stories, and a lot of people can relate to them, whether it be marriages, suicide, stupid stories that I've done to myself when I've been on drugs or stuff. So, people like Lee, if you ever give up bodybuilding, can take up stand-up, because I think some of the funniest stand-ups are people that don't actually tell jokes, they just tell stories, and you listen to the stories and they're just so funny that you laugh because you can somehow relate to them.
That is your style of comedy for sure. If you ever want to be a comedian, I think you would definitely make it for sure.
Larry, I'm known more than bodybuilding. Larry was on the last podcast I was on talking crap. So whoever Larry is, he likes to talk a lot of shit. I'm known outside of bodybuilding, Larry. You'd be surprised.
Oh yeah, I have to delete.
Larry was on John's podcast the other day talking crap. So I guess Larry doesn't have a life. This is one of those people that I don't understand. They don't like you, but when they see you're on somewhere, they've got to come and chime in because they have no life. It's like, imagine being that pathetic in life. They have nothing better to do than just follow people you hate and comment. It's like,
well, those are your biggest fans. I mean, he's on every single podcast that you're on, watching you. That's I call
Larry.
that a fan right there. I mean, doesn't really get any more fandom than that. You know what I mean?
Larry's Knight Rider, is he? Well, Knight Rider used to be the same guy on RX.
Yeah.
That's what I said. John said he has multiple accounts. I don't get people to have multiple accounts either. It's like, I've got one account. People know who I am. These people that make up fake accounts, I'm like, my God, get a life. It's like, how bad?
I would imagine that probably happens a lot with you. It happens with me too, but not even close to the level that it happens to you. That would be hard, but you don't seem to give a shit.
That's amusing, actually. Like, sometimes they get mad because like, oh, Lee blocked me.
Yeah.
And the reason I block them is, like, I love trolls. I'll argue back and forth just because if I got time in the day, I've got nothing going on.
Yeah.
It pains me, but it's just when they're repetitive and they just say the same shit. You short steroid midget tattoo on your face, steroid midget tattoo on your, you never won the Olympia. It's like, come at me with some new shit. Keep it entertaining. If you're just going to keep repeating the old stuff, I'm going to block you because you're boring. It's like,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's like they have nothing to say, but at the same time, they're on every single place that you're on. So how does that even make sense? That doesn't even make sense.
They always say your haters are your biggest fan. So generally, I think it's true.
I mean, it really is. It really is.
And who cares? Like I said, they help in the algorithms, whatever you go on. So they think they're doing you bad, but every time they rewatch you or post a comment, it all helps the algorithm. So keep going. The thing is, they're so dumb. They'll post something, even on their page, and just say something about me. Let's just say 100 of their people go, well, let's go see who Lee Priest is. Out of 100, 80 might go, fuck, I like him, and start following me. The other 20 might go, he is a dickhead, but it just gives me more followers. So keep talking.
Yes. I delete and block because I actually don't like it when someone leaves a comment up and then people that really like me, they'll chime in and support me. I just don't like all that energy, even if it's people supporting me and defending me. Like, you don't want to feel like people have to come to your defense either. So I just want all that out of there. I don't want.
Why do even people have to say anything negative at all? It's like, if you don't like a podcast, or if they don't like what you post, the same as if I post something, I see shit all the time I don't like, but I just keep scrolling. You don't need to comment on everything. You don't need to go, oh, hold on, let me have my opinion here. It's like, nobody cares. Just keep scrolling. Or don't follow the person. If you don't like me, or you don't like Wendy, or you don't like Ronnie Coleman, why do you follow them? I don't follow people I don't like or have no interest in. It's like,
it's a one-way conversation. This is not a two-way conversation. We're not we're not bantering. Okay, this is a one way.
Be like if I followed, like I said, if the finals are on tennis, I might watch the finals of Wimbledon or the US Open, but I don't follow any players. So it'd be like me following Nadal and go, oh, hold on, let me follow Nadal on Instagram. Oh, he's gone live. You suck. Your backhander suck. You're pathetic. Oh, you can't play tennis. It's like, who would have the time and energy to follow people you don't like just to talk shit to them? I don't get them.
That's their entertainment. That's how they get off. That's what their entertainment is. You know, they throw that out there into the universe, and then they get some type of response from somebody that they don't think they otherwise would. And it works sometimes. It really does. I imagine that this is something that you probably get asked a lot because you are in the public eye a lot. You do have a very bold persona, and I don't know if I would say controversial, but I do use that word a lot with you.
Divisive.
Maybe. Well, you are very engaging and people want to hear what you have to say, right? And that comes with a lot of trolls and people that want to just chime in because they don't think that you're really a human. And when you're on these tours and you're doing all this stuff, I feel like that is probably a common question that people ask you because it's something that a lot of people struggle with who aren't even close to your level of fame. They're like so low on the totem pole, but even like a little bit of bad energy can really throw people off of their ability to succeed at life, you know?
Yeah, I don't think about it. It's just because I just see myself as me. I don't be like, there are actors, there's bodybuilders that go, do you know who I am? I'm such and such, or I've done this and done that. It's like, who gives a fuck? We're all the same. To me, like I said, everyone's equal. We all have different jobs, but we're all good at something. So just because I'm good at bodybuilding doesn't make me better than the guy who's a fantastic landscaper or something. So I don't put myself up on these platforms where I'm like, I'm here and you're down here. So, but I think some people do, and they get carried away with it. Like I said, some people get a little bit of fame. Some people start liking their things. They get a few followers and, oh, look at me all of a sudden. It's like, fuck off, dickhead. You're still just a nobody, really. In the world of life, you're still a nobody.
Yeah.
It's like the old saying that, what was it? That something like, in this world I may be a nobody, but to somebody I may be their world. So
that's a good saying. I like that one. Now, speaking of you, people chiming in and tuning into you, does seem like every time you give your opinion on something in the industry, everybody wants to hear what you have to say. I mean, it happened when you spoke up for the women who got pulled out of the Arnold, right? We were in divisions that were taken out of the Arnold, and you spoke up for the women, which everyone appreciated, and everybody wanted to hear what you had to say. Recently, there was the IFBB Pro Card debate, and you chimed in about your opinion, and then you got an IFBB Pro Card. You've probably talked about this, but I want to know the scoop here. Tell us the scoop.
when they brought out that new law that you got I think they gave like a grace period, so I just figured, you know what, it's like Bob said, Lee was never suspended for life with the Pro League, which is true. I wasn't. I was suspended from the old guard. Now that they're split, you know, Raphael went this way, Mannion went this way. So technically by the new IFBB, I haven't been suspended. So I just figured I'd go online and see if I could apply and pay for it and get it. Then I'm thinking to myself, when I did it, and you know, you do it online, you feel, I think it's probably all automated and done by computers. I was thinking, I wonder when I got it. And Giles posted, he goes, should I post it? I said, you can post it. I'm sure I get people talking, and it did. I was wondering at that point when I posted it, or he posted it, did the IFBB see it and go, fuck, we did what? Program back.
I think so. I think so.
Too late. You can't take it off him now. But you know,
I'm thinking,
like, why did I get it back? I'm like, well, maybe I just got it back so I could get suspended again.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a while.
I'm like, he's pulling a Kai Green. He's like teasing us here. But okay, it's hard for you though, because you had to leave competing, not by choice, but because you had gotten in an accident, and you talk about that a lot. You still look great, but I know it's a whole different level to get to where you were. Tell me about that.
Well, like I said, people ask me what I do when I come back. I said, listen, I probably need 2 years, a year and a half of just stem cell and growth hormone to rejuvenate some parts that aren't working as good now. And if that all went well, I'd maybe think of a comeback in 2028 Masters or something. But yeah, I'd need at least a year and a half of just, getting all the right work done on, because I said I haven't had anything done since I've had the nerve damage or stuff. And people have sent me peptides now, so I might start taking them and see if they work. I got a fridge with peptides in just sitting there, so I figured, well, I might as well use them. So if things came back and I looked like I did when I won the universe, just that conditioned and I still got the size easy. I know I've got the size, so it'd be one of those things I wouldn't mind giving it a go. But only if I look good. I wouldn't do it just for the sake of doing it. And you're on stage and people go, "Oh, what did he do that for?" It's like,
yeah. Well, you know what it's supposed to look like, and you know that if you can't get to the look where you are looking like a champion, you're just not somebody that can step on stage at anything less than incredible, because you're one of the best physiques in the world, and your legacy is.
Well, even if I did like
powerful.
like I said, if I was preparing for a show, and like I said, if he had sponsors or some stem cell place said, "Okay, Lee, we'll give the stem cells to see how it goes." If I look good, I did. But if not, then I could still do like a transformation, because I'd be like 55, 53.
Yeah.
And I'd be like 56 in 2028. So I could make a nice transformation and promote a company that way also. So that there, you could probably travel around and do a few appearances in shape, because if you're just guest posing, people don't put as much shit on you. But if you're competing, then it's really, oh, look at him, he sucks here, he sucks there. But if you just guest posing, people are like, oh, he looks good.
Yeah. We might be approaching that possibility soon. I mean, we have a lot of advancement in technology, and I think it was back in 2008. I watched a documentary called like Transcendence or something like that. And in the documentary, it was, there was this guy who believed that we're eventually going to be able to live forever, and modern technology that'll be able to basically help us reverse our age and, increase our telomeres and all this crazy stuff that didn't seem like it was possible. But we have made so much advancement to now that by 2028, who knows? Maybe you'll be able to, grow a whole new pair of arms that look like when you were 20. I don't know.
Clone myself. I can just clone myself, couldn't I?
Clone yours. That's a little scary. I don't know. Do we need another Lee Priest? I know. Just kidding.
Yeah. I guess it would be easier if someone tells me to go fuck myself.
I'm like working that out in my head right now. No, I do think that that is an interesting topic there's two different topics here. Okay. Number one, legendary physiques in, the 90s and the early 2000s, where people were really thinking these were the best physiques, the golden era, the best quality physiques. It was a great era you were part of. And, a lot of guys from that era now are, you're still not old. I mean, you're still like in an age where there's guys out there competing and getting their pro card at Masters Nationals and stuff like that. But it brings up an interesting concept that is,
you need to let it go. If you're getting that old, you need to let the dream go. Come on, people.
I don't know.
You're too old. You're too old to be turning pro at that stage. Come on.
I don't know. There's some good, but there's some really awesome physiques out there. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but really, come on. It's just it's their lifelong dream and that. But really, once you get to a certain age, you can be doing more damage. Look, if you just want to train and eat healthy and get in shape and stuff, that's good. But to push the envelope, that what some of them do at that age with the drug usage and that, to try and get their pro still in their 60s, it's like, maybe it's time to let that go. If you can do it naturally, fine, in an organization, good. But if you're in your 50s and 60s and you're still running a whole heap of gear and that, it's like, what's better, like longevity in life, or just looking great for a pro card and then fucking die 2 years later with fucking kidney failure or liver?
I agree with that completely. I really do. I do think, though, it is interesting, because the second part to that point that I was trying to make is that you guys are, I look at you and Sean Ray and even Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler, Dennis Wolf, even. I think, okay, it's not like you can't get into incredible shape, but
Mhm.
you had one of the best physiques in the world. So matching that is what everybody would expect.
Oh, yeah.
That's, you know, it's kind of like somebody who, if I mean, you came close to it, but when somebody wins the Olympia, anything less than first place at the Olympia, even if it's a place that anybody would die for, second place, you are now falling back. And once you get to a certain level, anything below that is going to look to everybody like it's a fall back, you know?
It's like someone put up a picture the other day of me that I think it's on my page too, where I'm 20 years old and then winning the universe at 42. And someone goes, I think you look better when he was 20. I'm thinking, yeah, because I was fucking 20. You know, you get
Yeah.
older. We all get old. So at 42, of course, I'm going to look a lot different of when I did when I was a young bodybuilder at 20, just getting my pro card. So it's like when people say, oh,
Is it recent?
yeah, if you go down, it will be there. So, yeah, that one there with the lat spread.
With the lat spread, this one?
Yeah. Is there two pictures there or just the one?
You
But
look
that's when
awesome.
yeah, there. Look, that's me at 20, and then
Yeah.
40, that's when I got my pro card. And that's at 42 when I did my last show and won the universe. So people are like, oh, you look better at 20. It's like, no shit, we all look better when we're 20. You know, we get old. You know, if you look at 22 years difference there, it's not too bad.
Not too bad. You look incredible. Well, you know, you have a lot more muscle density. There's a lot more maturity and muscle density. You're a lot grainier. All of those things that happen
It's like
when,
what people say. Look at Arnold now and stuff. I'm thinking, Arnold and these guys are in their 70s. You can't compare him to how they were when he was Conan or when he was Commando and stuff. It's like we all get older. I'm thinking, shit, if I can look like Arnold or Stallone in my 70s, I'd be pretty fucking happy. But for some reason, people go, well, look how they look now. It's like, yeah, we all get old. How are you going to look when you're 70? I tell these people. It's like, Jesus Christ.
but that's the kind of the double-edged sword that you have when you're a transcendent legend. And I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass or anything like that. I'm telling you right now, it's like you have a legend that people have it implanted in their mind what you look like, and like your absolute peak version of you. And this is the truth. They're always going to expect that from you, no matter what. I mean, even when you're same with Arnold, they're going to expect the same thing from you. You're going to be 80 years old and people are going to still compare you to you at 20, which is, it's an odd, it's kind of a weird twisted compliment, because
I think they do it with actors and actresses too. I think they're like,
yeah,
oh, look how she looks now, look how he looks now. It's like, oh yeah, well, look at was it Meg Ryan and Harry Met Sally? Then they did that commercial for the Super Bowl. It's like, oh, she looks older now. Of course she looks older. It's like, what, 30, 40 years later since she did Harry Met Sally? It's like, do people just forget? And it's generally from the younger crowd too. They're in their 20s and that who think, you know, I remember when I was 18, my mate was 40, and I thought 40 was, oh my God, you're so fucking old. It was like crazy. So, you know, so I think these people don't realize you're 20 right now and you're saying this, but guess what? In 30 years' time, if you make it, you're going to be 50, you're going to get 60. You're not going to look the same as what you did when you're 20. So,
yeah, it's, you know, it kind of comes with the territory though, too. Being in the spotlight. And I think child actors really deal with this too, because, you know, they come up when they're, you know, 7, 8 years old, and everybody falls in love with the 7, 8-year-old version of them. They grow up and then they get scrutinized because they've
that happened to Miley, didn't it? Miley and Britney, because you look at them coming up through, was it, you know, the Mickey Mouse Club or on Disney. Miley Cyrus is Hannah Montana. Then she becomes a singer. She starts doing that Wrecking Ball song and gets a bit risque in what she wears. People are like, oh my God, look at Miley. She's doing this. It's like, she's a young adult woman now. She's not a teenage girl on the Mickey Mouse Club anymore. She's growing into, you know, she's got to reinvent herself. She can't be this innocent young girl forever. So it's like, it's just weird when they see him getting older. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe she's doing that. It's like, she's a different girl now. She's a woman. It's like, come on.
It is kind of cool though, if you think about it, that, you know, to have a physique that was so...
How old am I here? 22? Did I say 22?
23.
23.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I mean, you know, to have a physique that people still talk about, that is not something that people experience, right? So it comes with the territory of that expectation people have and like the stress that you have to feel in maintaining this, which you're doing very well, by the way.
Well, I used to get stressed about it, especially when I hurt this arm, because I was always said, "Oh, Lee has the best arms in history." And when this one got injured and it wasn't as good as this one, and people go, "You've got the best arms." I'm like, "Oh, the best arm." I got the best arm now, so I would get a bit self-conscious. But then I'm like, I got to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm still me. I still try and keep, in somewhat type of shape and train, whatever. But I don't really worry about it because before I used to worry about the people. If I go somewhere, people are expecting to see that version or they want to see the mass and that. But I think because I am the way I am and I'm very open, sometimes now it's more about the personality. Even then, yes, they can see my forearms and arms are still big and that, but I don't think it worries them as much. They're just happy to meet me now and listen to me talk shit. So it's like,
that's why you're here. That's what we love about you. That's for sure. But people were that's what you were really known for back then too, is you stood up for other bodybuilders. You were controversial, you spoke your mind. And I mean, that has never changed, right?
No, still to this day, still the same.
All right. So let's talk a little bit more about your Unholy tour. Okay. You went from gym to gym, and when you're sitting there and you're talking, and you said you talked about a variety of topics. You were talking about, you were talking about suicide and mental health, and you were talking about, training. You're talking about a lot of different things, right? What did people seem to be the most receptive to? Like, if you were to say, like, of all the topics that you talked about, what did you feel people were really connecting with you the most on?
I think general stuff, like, there's the training ones or the drug questions and that sort of thing, but I think they just like to hear general stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I used to do those Battlefield Olympia videos. It's like when I used to watch them, I'd always skip to the parts where, look, how many times can you see someone bench press or curl and that? People are more interested in what you do outside the gym. What's your home life like? What do you do when you're not at the gym? Just you walking the dogs or going for a drive. So I think they like hearing those type of stories more, where they feel like, he's just normal like us. He has a normal life where no one's special. Yes, I go to the gym, but so I think they like a combination of both. And because I might put a funny spin on it, it makes it more entertaining and funny. So then they'll just start talking, asking silly questions. So I just give them silly answers and that. So I think it works out well, rather than be just all bodybuilding, 6 sets, 10 reps,
right?
Eat right.
Right. I know.
I'll go from back and forth from the bodybuilding to general life stuff, just to keep it interesting rather than just. And the thing is, too, I just give them a quick rundown. Maybe I'll talk for the first 5 minutes, just quickly going over my career, but then I leave it up to them. I just say, look, I'm going to leave it up to you. Take it where you want to take it. Ask whatever you want. That way, pretty much when you do it that way, over an hour, 2 hours, it fills in all the gaps of training, life, and that sort of thing. But rather, some seminars you can go and the person might sit there for a whole hour talking to begin with, and you're like, oh, fucking hell, shut up, boring. It's like, I just leave it up to them. So,
yeah. Well, okay. Tell me, was there a story that you consistently told every place that you went that you just kept getting brought up by a question, or you're smiling?
Always bring up the cocaine and the shoelace story and stuff like that. Tell us about the shoelace and that sort of thing.
The shoelace and I don't even think I've heard that story.
That's when I got the cocaine and that, then tied my cock to a coffee table with the shoelaces and stuff.
Oh, yes, that story. I do know that story. Yes, I did hear that story.
But I like that one, because at the end I'd be telling different stories, and Giles would ask him, what was your favorite story? They'd be like, the shoelace or the vodka bottle, where I was trying to put a vodka bottle up my ass to get drunk that way rather than drink it. I was trying to shelve it.
Okay, this is maybe a little bit risky, but tell the shoelace story, because now everybody's going to want to know what the heck the shoelace story was. If they were there and they haven't heard it, this may be taking a risk, but just go for it.
Well, it's just like I said, I had a lonely night at home with cocaine. I had the cocaine, I was doing it. Then I put porn on, and I was watching the porn. Then I'm just yelling at the TV like, you fucking whore, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, what am I doing? I could have fun. So I just decided to take my pants down while I'm watching the porn, start playing with myself. But if you use too much cocaine, you sort of go, So I'm thinking, well, that's no good. It still feels ticklish. But I looked down, I saw my shoelace. I went, I got an idea. So I tied one end of it around my cock, the other end I stretched out to the coffee table. So you ever see a barber when they sharpen their blade on a leather strap? I'm sitting there just stroking it like that, yelling at the TV. But then I look over and the cat's looking at me. So I'm telling my cat, don't you fucking judge me, cat, because I feed you. And the cat's just looking at me. But then I just started laughing because here I am sitting there watching porn, cocaine on the table. I got my cock tied to the cable. I figured if I die right now, this is how my mum's going to find me. That's going to be a very funny thing for my mum to find me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no.
Kids, don't do drugs, kids. You do silly stuff.
Okay, and we don't necessarily need to know how that story ended, but we definitely know how it went. We know how it started, and we know how it went towards the middle. We don't need to know how it ended. That was good. That was good.
It's probably a happy ending.
I'm sure there was. It sounds like it. Sounds like you figured it out. You were a problem solver, is what you were.
I got the knot out. Enough worse if you can't get the knot out your shoelace.
You were a problem solver, and you used your resources, and you figured it out.
Sort of like Batman with a utility belt. I come up with ideas.
Yeah. I don't know if I would recommend that one to anybody, but it worked for you. I'm assuming.
Don't knock it till you try it. That's what I say.
Don't knock it till you try it. I'm gonna take your word on that one. All right. We have John Massini. He said, tell Wendy about the hospital one when it was like a murder scene. Oh God.
That's when I took Viagra, and then I had this other stuff you inject into your penis to make it hard, and it wouldn't go down for 3 days. So I had to go to the hospital, and they had to give me needles in the groin, which bruised my groin black and blue. And then they had to put needles in it and drain all the blood out. And it's like squeezing. It's like a blood sprinkler, and it was like blood everywhere. It looked like someone just had an abortion. It was.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
But then I like pain. It sort of made me enjoy pain. So for almost a year after that, I'd stand there sometimes if I was doing drugs or drinking, and I'd slam my dick in between drawers and doors because I liked the pain. I put it in the kitchen drawer and slammed the door shut on it.
Oh my gosh, see, that's I'm gonna pray for you.
I should call the police on myself for abusing myself.
Okay, now everyone keep in mind that this was the Unholy Tour, which is such a great segue after these stories.
Come on now. It's not like I'm the only one. Come on now, people.
No, you're not. We're all just, hey, you are all of our guilty pleasure. We all listen to you.
I just talk about it when other people hide it away.
You probably do. That's probably true. This tour was called the Unholy Tour, though, because you are very open about, your stories and this craziness. How did the tour name come to be?
I think John come up with it because of the last name Priest and that, and then I had those shirts made with the priest collar in them, so it looked pretty good, which you can still get from Muscle Labs gym over there in Glasgow. If you go to this page, you can still get, because before I left, I signed a whole heap of t-shirts and photos and water bottles, drink bottles and stuff. So so they made the priest shirts. So I just figured, Unholy Tour.
Well, if that's not an oxymoron, I don't know what is.
I should have spelled it unholy, shouldn't they? Like unwhole, but Lee, L-E-E instead of the Y.
Well, I mean, I think that
well, we're doing the same tour. I'm not sure if we're going to call it the Unholy Tour, but in July, there's a big muscle Euro thing on in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I think Ronnie's going to be there in that big expo. I'm going to start there, but then Giles and I and Chris are going to do a tour of Europe, like Budapest and other places. So.
Oh, that's cool. I think you should keep it called Unholy Tour because it has a nice ring to it, and it really makes sense.
We're probably going to bring out some products too at that expo, like a pre-workout, which is called Crucified.
Okay. Now, was the tour?
Then there's going to be like a intra-workout drink, which would be called Holy Water.
Oh, that's good. Ooh, that's really good. That makes sense. Yeah, that's great.
And the Crucified product will be like, it's got a nice label of just my eyes and that, and the cross and everything, and it's going to be colored red like blood, and the holy water will be blue.
That's These are great ideas. I hope that they all come to fruition.
They will.
You're like, no, I definitely think so. Now your Unholy tour, okay, that you're gonna continue on with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, is it like a really lucrative event to coordinate?
Yeah. Made out pretty good. Trips
Yeah.
money 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. So the gyms, they all like charge their members to come and watch
Well,
you.
some of the gyms would just pay to have me there, and some would make it free to their members, but then other people who come in who aren't members would pay tickets and stuff like that. But everyone was sold out. The only one that wasn't sold out, still had like 100 odd people there, was the one where it was all totally free, which is weird, isn't it? Being totally free, you would have had more people there, but for some reason, I guess people put more value on it if they buy a ticket. So
it's true. That is so true. Yeah. And then you're selling all kinds of stuff. You're selling t-shirts and
t-shirts, photos. They had some of the Be Yourself. If you go on Amazon, you can still buy Be Yourself book by Lee Priest. And then my documentary now that was on Vimeo, I think they just told me it's going to be going on Prime in America also now, Amazon Prime, the Lee Priest documentary.
yes, the Lee Priest documentary. That's the I have that here. This is it, right?
Yeah, it's on Vimeo right now, but I think it's going to be on Amazon Prime very soon, or if not now.
Yeah. Oops. Let's see. And then you let's see. Now I showed you that, and then I kind of lost my train of thought here, trying to find this. I was trying to find you. I was trying to find your Unholy tour schedule, but you could probably tell me what that was.
You did have it up there before. I did see it before. It had the myth pose and all the places beside it.
Yeah.
It was like 10 gyms in 10 days, one after another. That's the shirt. That's a train station somewhere leaving.
That's cool. So somebody had a picture of you drawn, like tagged on their wall in their gym.
That was a really good gym. That one. That was a nice big crowd there. That was a good one.
And the tour rolls on with Giles. How was it touring with
I trained Lewis Breed legs there. I pushed Lewis Breed through a leg workout. He didn't like it.
I saw that too. And you guys had fun.
Yeah.
Tell me about the experience with the guys that you were touring with. You had
Giles and Chris. So we got them really good. Like I said, I did one with Giles back in early 2006 and had a good time. So we hooked up again, and Chris owns Muscle Labs gym there in Glasgow, and he come along as well. That's Chris there in the grey. And that's when I was leaving to come home on that murderous trip, fucking 42 hours to get home. Yeah, so got pneumonia and everything else. So yeah, but they had a good time. Really got on great. Every time I was just laughing, and that Giles was always like had a sore jaw because he just said he couldn't stop laughing. So the whole thing was very, very funny the whole time. So
yeah, and you made a post when you came back.
And I'm on the case too. One morning we had to get up at 4:30, and he thought, it's 4:30. Lee won't be on his ball. But at 4:30 in the morning, bang! I was in attack mode straight away. So even that early, it's like, fuck, I'm not even safe at this early. Lee's warmed up and he's already starting on me. So
it sounds like fun though, and it's like just the right amount of time too. I mean, it was like a 10-day tour, so it's
the next one we're doing in Europe. Where is that one? We had one every day. The Europe one, I think we're going to do like an appearance one day, then have a day off to see stuff, and then a day. Because I think where we're going near Romania, where it used to be that area, we're going to go to Dracula's castle and see that sort of stuff while we're there.
Yeah. So that's a good idea, because now that you've done it once and you see how it is to go back to back to back to back for like 10 days in a row, you probably want to stack it up so that you could like get it all in. But that's a lot for you to do that back to back like that.
Especially when you go on planes, trains, and automobiles. And one of them going back from, I think we're in Cornwall, we had to go to Wales. And I'm pretty sure I saw on the schedule it said we get a rental car and drive. But then for some reason that night, Giles was drunk and he went back. He's like, well, I got us train tickets. I'm like, oh. He goes, yeah, I think the train's faster. So we're on the first train. I said, how many times we got to change trains? He's like, I think 6 times. And I said, how long is this train trip? He's like 6 hours something. I'm like, let me get the schedule out. I said, on the schedule, it says rental car, 3 hours 45 drive. Why the fuck are we on a train? And I gave him that much of a hard time on the train that after the third train stop, he got a rental car because he couldn't take it anymore. He's like, fuck it, I got to get a car. I can't take this train anymore.
But you still want to do it. I mean, you seemed like you were kind of over it after you were done, because I can imagine anybody would feel that way. But you've regrouped, you've reset yourself, and now you want to do it again.
Yeah, like in July, I'm going to Italy in May 24th, 25th. I got a seminar and that sort of thing in Italy. I'll be there for like 4 or 5 days, but then July will be Europe tour. So yeah, sadly I won't be at the Arnold, because when I got the pneumonia and then they did the CT scan, thought they saw blood clots, so they kept me in hospital for 4 days, give me those injections in the stomach to thin your blood. Like maybe you just shouldn't travel for a month or so just in case. So, which is a shame, but it would have been a long trip for 5 or 4 days at the Arnold, because flying from Sydney to Houston's like 15 hours, 17 going home, and then from Houston to Columbus, and then I would have got there Thursday afternoon, and then Expo Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then on Monday they wanted me to do some filming and fly home Monday night. It would have been like, it's just so far when you don't get a day's rest. It's like,
Normally it'd probably be okay, but with everything that you have been through, coming off of pneumonia and all that, it's probably too much.
Yeah, which is sad, but Jim Reapers this year is going to be at the Olympia, so I will be in Vegas with them at the Olympia, so
good.
Yeah, it would be good. I like training at Pros Gym when I'm in town there, and they're doing up Jim Reapers and Pros Gym are going to do up a Lee Priest type t-shirt like they did last time, so but that will be the Olympia instead.
Yeah. People want to just see you and just be able to get your energy in person. So
see if I'm just as crazy in person as I am online.
Yeah, and you are. That's the thing, though. I mean, in a world where people are literally not the same online as they are in person, you give us all hope, Lee.
Well, I am pretty quiet in person. I will be start off. Like if I just meet someone, I'm pretty quiet. But then once I get on, I'm okay. But I'm actually shy in person. People think I'm this outspoken, crazy, but I'm pretty actually shy when people meet me in person. Until I get talking, then I'll say anything. But yeah, I'm not one of those people that just come. You know, some people are just allowed to begin with, and you're like, oh shit, you know, this person. That's not me. So.
I don't know. I don't think it's that you're necessarily shy, but I think that it's because it would be overwhelming to have so many people just like be staring at you and just like expect something from you. You're just kind of standing in that moment and taking it in. And who wouldn't be kind of shy in that kind of a scenario? You know, it's an odd situation. It's your conundrum that you kind of live with.
And then they just look at you like, yes. And it's like when they see me sometimes, they go, hi, Leon, like, hi. And then sometimes people are like, oh, he's arrogant, he doesn't talk. But like I said, because I am a quiet person, if you just say hello, I'll say hello back. But then unless you start conversation, I won't say anything else. I'll just like, hi. And that's it. Yeah. So, but if you keep talking to me, I'll keep talking. But yeah, because I'm just, like I said, I'm just sort of reserved, quiet until I actually get to know somebody. So I normally feel the room out first, feel like who can take a joke, who can't take a joke. And then the ones I know who can't take a joke, I'll make sure I fuck with them even more. They're very religious, are they? Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I'll put that in the
convinced Dave Colombo that I could, because he didn't think I could. He didn't think that I had what it took, but he did not know because I can. So, so Lee, this has been amazing, and I'm so glad we were able to talk. We were able to talk about a lot of random things.
WOLFpak again. Look at this.
Yes.
Now I don't know which one to use.
Show them all. Ooh, I don't know. I like the Batman one for you. I do, but I can see.
I need like a priest one, don't I? But then again,
we need to figure that out.
Priest one, it could be like a bit of pedophilia or something going on. You know what the priests do?
I don't know. I don't know. Oh man!
You know what they do. Come on.
You had to finish on a strong note, didn't you?
They just like taking care of the children. That's all.
Man, how could I not know that you were going to finish on such a strong note?
About the children. It's about the children, loving and caring for the children.
Wow.
Bringing them joy and letting them see the coming of the Lord or the priest or whoever it is in their face.
Exactly. So Lee, tell me about, I'm going to give you the final words. You're going to tell us about your upcoming events, your tours, and when you're going to be back up on your feet.
I'm hoping to be back on my feet. Like I said, each day I'm getting a bit better. The cough's finally almost going. Still got a little bit there when I talk, it tickles and sets it off, but hopefully in another week or two that'll be all gone. And then like I said, July is Euro through Europe. I haven't got the exact places we'll be, but I'll put it up on my Instagram when we finally get that. May, I've already posted. It's in Italian, so I can't understand, but if you can read Italian, it tells you where I'll be in May. I think I'll be in Milan. And then up until then, this Sunday I'll be at a car show up the valley. If anyone's interested. And I'll be at the Olympia, and hopefully before the Olympia I'm going to try to get over there just to Venice for a couple of days and out to Vegas to go on Jay's podcast and that in between. But so I just got to, like I said, living in Australia is nice, but like I said, to go anywhere it's like a event, because it always takes you over a day to get somewhere. So it's like,
I can imagine. And when you go to Vegas to be on Jay Cutler's podcast, like I said, you're invited to come and be on our Make Your Mark series, which I would love to have you on. And so we're going to plan that out too. We'll talk.
Make your mark. So what do? You just wear white underpants and leave a mark in them?
Hey, you know what?
Something,
that's how you roll.
Is that how you mark?
With you, I'm sure that would be entertaining.
I don't wear white, so no. Who wears white underwear? Jesus, what sort of bodybuilder would wear white underwear? You'd have to be game.
I don't know, but there's this girl, and really fast, I have to say, there's this girl on Instagram, and she made a post that made me laugh so hard. She does commentary on random stuff on Instagram, and this guy did a backflip with two 45-pound dumbbells in his hands, and he does the backflip and his pants kind of like fall down midair, but you don't really think much about it because it's such a badass thing, or he, and then he pulls his pants up, and he goes like, do it like me or whatever, or something along those lines. She goes, I don't think any of us can do it, go where you've gone. He goes, oh, go where I've gone. She goes, I don't think anyone can go where you've gone. And she slows it down, and you can see midair. he was wearing white underwear, and let me just say it, he had, gone where other people can't go.
He left his mark.
He left his mark.
He should be on your podcast.
Yes, but you know what? He did a backflip with two 45-pound dumbbells in his
Why
hands.
would you want to do that? That just seems weird. It's like, yes, if you can do it, it's fine. But to me, I don't get why people do some stuff they do. It's like when you watch those parkour people and they're running around the edge of buildings, flipping off buildings. I'm thinking, yes, that's a great skill, but just that one little slip and your life's over. It's like those people that rock climb. I guess they get a thrill out of it, and they're just hanging from a cliff hundreds of feet up with their fingertips. I'm thinking one cramp, or imagine if a big spider got on your hand, you went, and you fucking fall. It's like,
I know. It's crazy. It's called a kilfie. People do a kilfie, and they risk their whole life just to get a good video or photo.
Table and cocaine.
Yeah, you can do it any way you want, I guess. There's multiple avenues you could take if you really want to, take a risk like that, I suppose. But anyway, Lee, I'm gonna let you have the final word. What do you want to say to all your friends?
Sounds like you're getting a cold, Wendy. There, sniffling.
I get like a stuffy nose. It's like it's an odd. I get like a plug nose. So yeah, but I don't have a cold.
Be like your pug dogs.
Yeah, I do. I have, but also because I laughed really hard, and sometimes when I laugh, I get a little stuffed up. Yeah, I don't want to blow my nose on this live.
I don't have final words. I just tell people to be kind to one another, treat people nice, text your friends, say hello to everyone. That's it. Just try to be better people. There's too many assholes in the world. There's too much shit going on. So costs nothing to be nice and smile and be friendly to people. Everyone's in there. Like I said, we're so in our own little worlds now. We forget to communicate and actually be nice to other people because we're so focused on ourselves. So yes, just go out sometime and leave your phone at home and talk to real people. Makes a difference.
And make your mark.
Yes. And clean it up if you make a big mark.
Oh my gosh. Well, Lee, don't go anywhere. I want to say goodbye to you afterwards. And everyone who's watching, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a great conversation. Also, make sure you watch the one that we did at 3 with Frank Sepe. And then this one with Lee. It's all great conversation.
And yes, you'll have to get Jimmy on, because Jimmy's funny when Jimmy and I get together, and him and Frank have been friends for a long time. So Jimmy the Bull would be good one to get on. He could talk about all the strength lifts he's done and that. But Jimmy's got great stories like me too, because he drives trucks and that. So when he goes,
that. Yes, let's get him on.
Story, he's funny.
It's happening. It's happening. Let's do it.
We will.
Okay. Yes. All right, everyone. We will see you on the flip side. I think we're still live because it won't end.
You can't stop it.
Hi, everyone. We're still
live. We're still back. The ad's over. We're still back.
We're still live. Hang on just
You
a
got to
second.
push the stop button, Wendy.
I know I am.
Duh.
Okay.
Duh.